Months ago, we learned that CBS Radio has followed NBC's example and has canceled Don Imus's radio show entirely. It won't be on television anymore, and now it won't be on the radio either. African-American leaders have been pushing and pushing for the radio giant to be silenced permanently after he spewed racial insults on his popular program last week, calling players on the women's basketball team at Rutgers nappy-headed hoes. Here's what CBS chief Les Moonves had to say about his company's decision. From the outset, I believe all of us have been deeply upset and revulsed by the statements that were made on the air about the young women who represented Rutgers University in the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship. There's been much discussion on the effect language like this has on our young people. That consideration has weighed most heavily on our minds as we made our decision. NBC just pulled the plug permanently on the simulcast of MSNBC Imus in the Morning yesterday. Today, the president of NBC News explained that decision.
No question that his program has had provocative conversation and interesting conversation, deep conversation with thought leaders, political leaders all through the years. But it's also had that other element. And at some point, you have to say enough is.
I mean, we're not children anymore. We're all adults. Well, you give an opportunity. It happened. You give an opportunity to analyze.
These companies have much more at stake.
I guarantee
they have too much at stake for the public.
He was going to be suspended for 2 weeks. How about you go to your sponsors, pick up the phone. Hello, the guy from Procter & Gamble. The guy from Procter & Gamble sits on the board of GE. He sits on the board. The other fellow, Gordon.
These companies, can I explain to you why? No, why? It wouldn't work because these companies have to appeal to all the broader audience, all the consumers. They rely on these consumers buying their products, and they cannot jeopardize one radio show all of their consumer products.
I think they would have all come back.
There are plenty other venues for them to put their advertising dollars.
I think they would have all come back if they see that Don Imus repented of this garbage statement, and he started to go in the right direction. They would have more advertising because everybody would be listening to it.
Whose measurement? I highly doubt they would ever come back to this show.
So if you say something wrong, you know what you should do? You should never do TV again. You should go into a farmhouse and have babies.
Well, I think I'm smart enough not to say something idiotic like that, please.
Well, you know what? It's easy to say when it flows. What we're doing right now.
We're having a heated conversation, but I am able to not. I mean, I wouldn't even think of coming to saying something like that.
Don Imus pushed the envelope. He did it for years.
Well, look, if you push it, that was for Les Moonves and his people that run CBS Radio to bring him in.
You're saying they knew what he was doing.
Absolutely.
Al Sharpton has shown over Don Imus's remarks, has some asking, well, where's the firestorm over some of the things that the Reverend himself has said. Joining us now from the new Black Panther Party is Hashim Nzinga is back on the show. Welcome back to the program. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me back.
All right, before we get to the discussion part, I want to run through a series of words. And I want to ask you, just yes or no, I'll run through them really fast, if they're acceptable for you. Okay, is it acceptable, yes or no, that Jesse Jackson said hi me town?
You have to get Jesse on and ask him that because
is it, I don't know. No, these are yes or no's. Then we'll get to the discussion. Is it acceptable that Al Sharpton said white interloper?
If it was appropriate for the situation Al was in, I'm 100% what Al said.
Okay, is it acceptable to refer to Jewish people as diamond merchants?
They are diamond merchants.
They are diamond. Is it acceptable to refer to the mayor of New York with the N-word and then also call the mayor of New York a whore?
I don't know I got some words I want to ask you about.
No, hang on. This is I get to ask the question. You're the guest. Is it acceptable in your view to use the term Chinaman?
I think this is pre-K or elementary. Let's get to the subject.
We are getting to the point, and the point here is that these have been the words by both the Reverend Jackson and the Reverend Al Sharpton.
I 100%